Oh, there we go. Got it.
Let's go.
There we go. Got it on one, got it on two. Peaceful greetings. Peaceful greetings. How is everybody doing on this beloved moon day? I am Brother Shining L. I'm one of the great, magnificent astrologers from the 7HealStar astrology firm, and I'm here with my also magnificent bros.
Benjamin Bey, Islam, peace. How you doing?
Islam, I am Terrell Tamari Bey. How are you?
Namaste, peace of greetings, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here at Morocco at northwest of Mexum. All is well. All right,
Oh yeah. Appreciate that, my awesome, magnificent intergalactic bros. All right, and we appreciate you for your patience. As you know, we were just getting things ready, getting prepared, how things go sometimes, But without further delay, we about to just, jump right on into it. So let me hit the screen sharing of the shares, right? All right, got that going. We just get that intro going, just get the dances juices going right now.
That was fun, yo.
So y'all want to see it again? Like I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I was jamming on nice, man. It is like 100 hours of them AM. I'm just out here jamming. I'm like texting Brother Benjamin, like, bro.
Venus and Pisces right there. Venus and Pisces right there.
Islam, my man took it pre-Shamar Moor with the Soul Train. Shout out to Don Cornelius, his family, right? he went all the way respectful with that presentation. Like, yo, I was like, yeah, that's hot, bro. You took it to Soul Train back when my mom was little. Like,
just throw it in space and time and making throwbacks.
I actually had Don Cornelius coming down in his suit and his fro in one of those scenes. It's like, wow, bro, that was really awesome. All right, I yield, beloved brothers.
Yes. All right, and we give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing everything back to us, and we're gonna keep hammering in the truth and keep putting his name and face out there, because that is the name and face that you will all get to know, whether you like to admit that publicly or in private. He will be in your hearts and minds, right? And with just a quick quote, time never was when man or mine was not. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. What do we mean time never was when man was not? Just take the time, just to let that sit there, let it resonate in your subconscious. And then the answer shall come to you in your own way to bring you clarity. Because if man had a start, man would have an end. But we are all thoughts of Allah. Islam. All right, and we about to get right on down with the partial eclipse. Get down on it. First up we got Brother Benjamin Bey. Then come with the second house is Brother Hasan. And for the third house is Brother for the fourth house is myself. So we keep on moving around and getting down. Get down on
That's it. That's Aries for you. He's like, I don't need a backup singer.
Down on it.
I know, right?
Get down on it.
He's Ray Charles. but he can see. Like he's got insight and outsight. Let me stop.
All right. And I'm gonna yield.
Y'all hilarious.
I'm gonna yield it to my bro. Is that good, or should I zoom in on that a little bit, brother Benjamin?
Let's see here. I can zoom in. That would be Taurus on the rise, right? If I'm correct.
Anyways.
But no, could you like zoom out a little bit? You zoom out a little bit, Brother Sean? Because I zoomed in on my phone. So it's like, there we go. Appreciate it, bro. Oh, that's fine. I see it. In the moon at 10 degrees. And May 1st, that would be Boontag, Indonesia. Yeah, we solid, bro. I can go ahead and get started.
Excellent.
That's okay. It's on. All right.
Before you get started, sorry, bro. And the charts we'll be using is just some of the sheets that comes with my software program Astro Go. Brother Hasan has Sirius and Brother Jack has Solar Fire. So we'll just be showing some of the sheets while we give you our delineations. I ain't take it to the deep and far space this week. Islam, I yield, Brother Benjamin.
That's because we're professional astrologers for real. All right, I yield.
Islam. Here to speak about the solar partial eclipse, new moon. That's the NM there. Pisces zone. The event chart, May 1st, 2022. This is a Sunday. The time is 400 hours, 28 minutes, and 4 seconds, and time meridian. This is for Bontang, my bad. Bontang, Indonesia. And we're talking about the first house where this new moon energy is, or solar partial new moon energy is already. And given my personal testimony, this partial solar eclipse in the first house itself, which is the domicile of Mars, his humble abode. The sun and moon are at 10 degrees Taurus, 28 minutes, which is the degree pertaining to architect, 10 degrees to 12 degrees. Since the first house is an angular house, along with 4, 7, and 10. So you got 7 as relationships, and 10 is essential, or the 10th house, and that's using the numerical code. These houses will give one or the collective strong purpose and energy. Yeah, strong purposeful energy to utilize for one's own elevation or evolution. Things of that nature. Just the progression of the self. Giving testimony with having harmony and sudden change with Uranus there next to the sun, a sudden change in one's self values and inner self love for self. It's the first house, so it seems selfish, but you're gonna have to replenish yourself before you can go to the 7th house and relate and try to replenish someone else or help or assist in any fashion. You need your own energy. Take a moment to communicate the things you feel you need to expand your values on. And I say that because I would like the sun is in Jupiter terms, but that could be wrong. But I want to say, is that Jupiter terms? No, it's not Jupiter terms. It is, right? Is it the sun in Jupiter terms? Right.
Hold on, the sun in Jupiter terms at 10 degrees, 2 seconds, 1 moment, 1, 2, hold on, let me check. Well, the sun and the moon are conjunct, so what it looks like to me, it looks like at 10:28. Yes, hold on, let me make sure I even have that. In my notes, I have them both.
I did it for my location, so
I have them in Mercury terms.
Islam. I have communicate there, so I'll say expand the inner values.
Correct.
All right. To communicate the things you want to expand the inner values.
1 moment. Just to add to your wisdom, Brother Benjamin. 10 degrees, 28 minutes, Taurus is within the Mercury terms. Hold on, let me double check. Let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. Yes, that is Mercury. Hold on, let me just double check one more time. Where's Mars? Is Mars in Jupiter's terms during this? Let me make sure I'm double checking this here.
I said it because Jupiter is ruling over Venus and Venus rules over Taurus. So that's why I said expand. since Jupiter is expansion. So that's why I said that was my part now. But yeah, Mercury is.
Good.
But yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why I wrote that. I was like, because I was like, what? Is it a Mercury turn or Jupiter turn? I was like, I don't like Jupiter. But yeah.
I'm about to double check for you right now because I got the notes that Brother Sean had sent on the charts earlier. And I got the sun
Mercury
and the moon in Mercury terms. Because the sun and moon are in Mercury terms, and so is the ascendant for the particular chart I have for the Libra zone, but not for you. No, you know what? That's wrong. You have Mercury terms for your ascendant at this moment also. So I yield the floor.
It's on. So, with the help of my brothers, I was explaining, take a moment to communicate, and that is the sun and moon being in Mercury terms, so that's like the micromanager of the sun and moon, with the moon and the sun being in the sign of Taurus, so the big boss is Taurus, and then the man on the floor is Mercury, influences sun and moon in a Venusian mercurial way. So that's why we're communicating the thing you feel you will expand your inner values. And I personally said expand because Taurus is ruled by Venus, by nature. And Venus is now in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Pisces as well. And Venus is exalted in Pisces. So, you want to expand your values, not saying, could that be anything you want? If you value food, you value, other material things, just don't go overboard with those things, make all those things that you want to communicate and value inward, because we're talking about the house of self right now. You're talking about you. So all the things that you want to expand and value on, try to make those, inner things, that you now want in full possession. So you want full possession of these inner things, and you want to keep them possessed, because not saying like possessed like that, because the second house is the next house. So you want to make sure that you're securing yourself and you fully possess that, like in full life. You don't want to possess yourself, because who has the other half? If you don't know where it is, or someone's benefiting off of it. So make sure you have full value. Moving along, be the master architect for the inner self to confidently take care of your outer, the temple. The first house in the Pisces zone for Indonesia, Banteng.
Bro froze. All right, I think he's back.
Oh, me? Did I freeze?
Yeah, we lost you at Banteng. Right after Banteng, you had went silent, but you're good now.
Banteng, Indonesia. Banteng, Indonesia. Thank you for your patience in advance. But I yield the floor. But I have a few more coming up. Okay, but I yield.
Indeed. Islam. Looks like it's on me, because that looks like an air sign up there, right?
Indeed.
All righty, Aquarius zone. I actually have it here on my phone. And I already know for the most part where things are, as we were saying, because, my report's right here, guys. You know what I mean? Just kind of knocking a few things out as far as what it is. I have most of the notes for Natal, Brazil, right? But that's for the Gemini zone, if I'm not mistaken. However, let's get to this Aquarius zone reading here, and you can keep that there for them, Brother Sean. I'm going to kind of look at this phone here of your pictures earlier. So this is for Bosnia, India, if I'm not mistaken. Bosnia, India, for the 1st May 2022. That is a Sunday, right? 0100 58 minutes and 4 seconds thereafter for quote unquote Indian Standard Time. All righty, for their portion there. However, we see, of course, we know it's 10 degrees, 28 minutes for both lunar and solar in their conjunctions. All righty. So we already know that that's the degrees pertaining to architecture. All righty. So the degrees pertaining to architecture. So let's think build here. Maybe there's some building and destroying going on. All righty. And when you're thinking sun and moon, you're thinking 5 and 4 energy or 4 and 5 energy. So when there's a conjunction between sun and moon, there's a number 9. All righty. Considering that the 4th sign is Cancer and the 5th sign is Leo. And so this 9 is currently conjunct in the number 2, Taurus. So what are we doing when we're allowing ourselves to bring some home creativity to our values? Well, maybe when we bring some home creativity to our values, we're able to maybe kind of renovate or rebuild some things, maybe get rid of some things, maybe donate some things to some others so that we can make room for new things to come into our lives. Considering that we are looking at the second house as this is occurring, we would be looking to Mars, actually. And if I'm not mistaken, Mars is this whole reading we're doing, guys, because we're just finding different portions on the planet where it's taking place, if I'm not mistaken. To be completely honest with you, because we're only picking different times, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not even times, locations, which would show different ascendants. All righty. I'm expecting, however, everything to be in the same place except the house cusps. So when we're speaking on where the planet placements are within the signs and the lunar mansions, that should be consistent, hands down. So with Mars at 11 degrees, 53 minutes in Pisces, within the 27th lunar mansion, for Mars here, though, it's in this particular house, Mars is transiting the first house, all right, being in Pisces. And if I'm not mistaken, it is within Jupiter terms. Is Mars in Jupiter terms there? Or am I mistaken? I got a feeling Mars is in Jupiter terms. Let me double check myself. Okay, Mars is in Venus terms. If I'm not mistaken, Mars is in Venus terms. So if we count the notches there, 1, 2, 3, all right, and we see Juno's at about 3 and 3 and 33, right? 4, 5, and 6, right? 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're going to actually count, right? Yeah. So we got Mars actually still in the Venus term. So what terms is Venus saying Mars has to disposit or has to, disposit the activities for, the second house? Well, we would have to also look to Mercury also. And Mercury's there in the third on its own terms. However, under the terms of Jupiter. So now when we're really looking at everything that we got going on here, Venus is exalted, ruling giving the terms for the ascendant with Jupiter ruling that, as well as Jupiter giving its terms, being conjunct at the exaltation degree with Venus. I really find that people are really going to find themselves having the bright idea for the task at hand, whatever that may be. So when we're focusing on this particular portion pertaining to the Earth, termed Bosna, India, even though those are corporate quasi-national designations, alrighty, whatever the Aboriginal and indigenous people there that are Moors, whatever they call that there, we know it's termed Sindhu from the river. Some will also know from certain studies it being ancient Paro. With that being said, what we're looking at is a means for us to really pour out the values that we really seek to bring about ourselves. But you guys are not going to be able to have your values comprehended, noticed, acknowledged, or even shared until you share what needs to be shared. And what it's funny, because some people may think, oh, I need to get rid of these things to make room for myself. No. The things that you're getting rid of is actually helping the next person or the next sentient being, strike person from the record, next sentient being to set their house in order, because what may be what you're done with is not necessarily trash. It just may be that you've outgrown that particular treasure. So let someone else find the value. Moon is mother, sun is child. What are you gifting to that innocence that you see in someone else? With that, I yield the floor. Islam?
Islam. That was you.
Thank you, Brother Hasan, for your beautiful testimony there. All right, and then next we'll yield to Brother Jay.
6 minutes, right? Since minute regulars, you on.
Islam, can y'all hear me?
There you go, bro.
We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. In the crowd.
You
Hear you.
Of course, Jay.
Right.
Of course we hear you, bro.
Okay, we hear you, bro.
Alrighty. So we are traveling to where? Dadna? Dadna? Dadna. Alrighty. The 1st of May, 2022. All right. We're looking at the eclipse, which is happening near Dadna. Yes. And this will be happening for this area. Specifically.
United Arab Emirates, Islam. No.
Got you. In the 3rd house. You got a sun and moon in the 3rd house. But I'm telling you that's very architectural, right? Something pertaining to building or constructing something. What we're constructing, pertains to our natal chart specifically. However, what we're looking at is, again, the sun and moon in the 3rd. So, we know 3rd house pertains to literature, publishing, local traveling, childhood memories, so to speak, you could say, right? So the sun and moon being here, so to speak, there could be a very, there could be an unrelation pertaining to what needs to be reconciled within one's childhood, or what, how one builded their selves, their whole identity based off of the things that they experienced in their childhood. That's very intense at this moment, because there could be something that happens that reminds you of something, of your childhood specifically. However, it'll be very, let's just say intense, so to speak. In what fashion, again, that just differs. However, again, we're speaking to a location in a sense, so there could be something that may be revealed in this area that may, change the whole structure pertaining to the way most of the, environment, or the common people are used to, growing up in that environment. Like the environment could be going through a whole structural change, and it can be, either good or bad. I guess pertaining on, whatever. But yeah, you could, be seeing some very uncovering news, so to speak, that may remind you of something that's very dear to your heart, and that may help you, produce something that may, help the community at large, so to speak. It's very possible. With that, I yield the floor.
Islam.
Thank you, Brother Jag, for your beautiful, magnificent testimony there.
And looking at your essential dignities table there, Brother Sean, I do see. Oh, you can go to the next one because it's going to still be the same. It should be. You have in mutual reception by turn is Venus and Mars, and then mutual reception by face is Mars and Jupiter. Just to double check to look at what I saw on your terms table. I mean, your essential dignities table.
Islam, yes.
All right. So yeah, a lot of these things are just coming together very smoothly, just even analyzing what's been said thus far. I yield the floor to my beloved brothers, and whom I'm well pleased. Islam.
Islam. All right, let me pull that back some so I can see that. All right. So now we are April 30th, 2022, Kusekwa, Christian calendar year. 1442 Moorish calendar year. We are at, let's see, 1000 hours, 28 minutes, 4 seconds. At Dodo, Botswana, we are in the Sagittarius zone. So this eclipse will be occurring during a Saturn day Mars hour, right? So a great time to, structure your drive and ambitions to be in harmony with things. And we'll get right on to Sol and Luna conjuncting, at the architecture degree. So I'll bear testimony as is, this is a time to where our emotional comforts and securities are being brought to the consciousness by means of domicile or residence. So just to, break into that real quick, is just, whatever things that need to be worked on are going to come up right now with the opportunity to renew things, right? Self-expression will be key as conversations about home life, family, roots, maybe some ancestry there, and reviewing the foundation that we have laid at the home that reflects to how we want to be, or when we step out into the world, into the career. And we have the moon being exalted in the sign of Taurus. So it's also a great time to look at how we view finances, and also how can we improve our income. And finally, how can we recognize comfortability, and stagnation. All right. And also there could be maybe a rise in some land and estate dealings pertaining, to land. And, with this being expanded, with Venus and Jupiter being conjunct as well at the exaltation of Venus, is also, another opportunity to connect to love and truth, to redeem, one's life choices. All right. We could be seeing an increase in dreams and visions that bring about clarity on how to remove karmic cords. So, for those that have been journaling, writing things down, as we've been saying, I'm pretty sure for the past few cycles, really, look back at those, or now you can actually start, journaling now. All right. And finally, teaching or planning, people could be planning or, putting their, nieces and nephews into, institutes of higher learning knowledge, to uplift them. Right. And finally, mental power to overcome all opposition and making self changes that rids of stagnant and unhealthy people that we could be associated with. And then finally, how this all gets transformed, right? Because we have Pluto sextiling Venus in Jupiter. So, taking what I previously just stated and now transforming all this after the end of the cycles. And as Brother Hasan stated, when we do have the new moons, that's that 9 energy. So, Pluto is transforming that end of cycles, just the end of things to, bring new opportunities to continue our ambition and goals that bring self-joy and sense of personal power. And this is all being structured by Saturn, bringing the structured awareness and living wisdom is now coming forth to the collective, so that the collective can unite and be in harmony. And but also this could tear apart others, because once, there's connecting, there's also, the opposite of that. So, if you're not trying to get into love and truth, it could tear you apart, or you could tear you apart from the outside. And finally, new finance opportunities. It could be even, lotto winners, getting offers to move, finding a new job. And there also could be some loving sentient beings out there planning vacations or even trips to a museum. And for that, I will yield for Dodo, Botswana. Islam, bros.
Beautiful.
All right.
I like a compass square right there.
All righty. What'd you say? Oh, wow. That's
also look like a compass square.
Those shapes, right? Aspect shapes.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
But it's me right here.
This one, yep.
Oh, brothers on me. All right, for the solar partial eclipse, new moon for the Scorpio zone, Saturn day and a Saturn hour, third hour of the night, April 30th, 2022. It's a Saturday, 900 hours, 28 minutes, and 4 seconds for Lagos, or Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria. Here about the new moon or the solar partial eclipse in the 5th house of creativity. But there on the rise, you have Capricorn, which is like intercepted with Sagittarius and we would say Aquarius, but nah, we just say Sagittarius over there. But Saturn got a lot to say here. But given my delineation for this energy in the 5th house, this partial eclipse is now in the 5th house. Children, creativity, romance, sports activities that are rooted from the heart. So you're gonna create from your heart, your true, like inside, your true self. Giving testimony with energy, being able for a being to utilize their creative mind to manifest those values that will be set in a new way to express one's creativity, intuition. Uranus being the awakener at the degree of the first point of stabilization, fortunate, religious in nature. And that degree is 14 degrees, 32 minutes Taurus for Uranus. With Venus being ruled by Jupiter and Pisces, someone values will have that beautiful Venusian essence. One manifests or stabilizes their mental values. That they want to eventually share with the world, because across from the 5th house is the 11th house, the house of sharing, the house of growth, networking, friends, we'll say the internet world. Now that would be the internet world, whether that be Google, being however you want to express your inner creativity, what you, the beauty in what you value, that you want to help the world with. The universe is open to receive whatever you please to add to it. It's like a creative breath of fresh air. So, basically take this time and slow down, because the sun is in Taurus, and really anchor what you want to create, and anything that is growing slow, it's pretty strong, and it'll be valued, but you want to make sure you're not messing up. You want to make sure when it's presented to the world that it's presented in a way that it reflect who you are and beyond the time you're not here, And I would yield on that, to start up that new creativity plan you have, that idea.
That's fine.
That may seem radical.
All right, thank you, brother.
No problem. What? Oh.
I will get back to Brother Hasan. In the Libra zone. He in the Libra zone.
Scales. Oh.
Tippity of the scales.
Relationships.
You are on mute, Brother Hasan.
My pardons. I'm sitting here saying everything to you guys. I've got to unmute the microphone. Gratitude indeed for your patience. What I'm saying, we're in the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone, right? So with that being said, we're dealing with the kidneys and the renals here, right? Necessitating, some water being needed, so to speak, right? That's a possibility. However, let's move forward if right? In sharing right now that Sun and Moon, all right? Architect degrees, of course, if I'm not mistaken, in this particular chart there in the 6th house, all righty, for the Libra zone, actually. And we already have discussed where there's mutuality occurring by term and by face. Term is Mars and Venus, and mutuality, they have mutual reception with one another. And of course, as well as Mars and Jupiter. Look at that. Mars has mutual reception with both benefics as they're conjunct also, while Sun and Moon are conjunct. So guys, if you have a major decision to be on the right side at this time, it's been great knowing you. You're going to be stuck on that frequency that you're on for probably about the next 40 years. All right, just to put that energy out there. So for us that are ascending and elevating, respectfully. What I actually see happening here, of course, but I have on the rise. If we just really check here, look at what's on the ascendant, right? It's a Mars-ruled sign on the ascendant. We look at Mars again. We said that Mars, of course, is in the 27th lunar mansion, right? Still at 11 degrees Pisces, 53 minutes for every testimony given today, as it will be. However, it's in the 5th house in this particular one. The 5th house cusp is actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's some Venus terms also. Yeah, it's looking very Venusian there, along with Jupiter. They're both together in the 28th lunar mansion, of course. That ascendant, though, is on the degrees pertaining to business in Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken, very close to the regeneration and eagle point, and actually close to the malefic fixed star, so to speak. Zubin al-Janubi, known as the South Scale Alpha Libra, which has the nature, it has a very expansive, assertive nature, or overindulging self nature. That's Jupiter and Mars, as well as self-valuing essentials kind of structure too, as far as nature. Also, as far as it having the Mars, Venus, Saturn nature. And, that energy for Zubin al-Janubi has been termed, according to the Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas Devore, unforgiving, untruthful, and ill health. So with that actually being on the rise, I think it would be really fortunate, though, however, for people with part of fortune here in South Node to really be able to recall the things that are really important for themselves, all right, and bring that to the forefront, considering that Mars being there is how, in Venus terms and mutual reception by term with Venus and by face with Jupiter, Mars there in Pisces is able to bring to that ascendant for those in the Libra zone a means to actively bring the truth forward. All right, because there's going to be things from the past that you thought was hidden, and they're going to be unearthed by means that you didn't even expect. Like if you thought you buried something really, really well one way, you know what I mean? And in another way, you couldn't do so. In doing so, 2 seconds, y'all. Give me one moment. I will call you back. We're live now on YouTube. I'll call you back after that. All right.
I'm looking for something. Remember when you found the care line information, the actual woman?
It's in the email.
It was like,
oh, you're looking. What you do is when you go to the Durante's page for the history, you look at who they are under the history. It's that same page.
I wrote everything, and I just keep getting other different Vanessa Durante.
No. It was a flow chart of people.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, and that flow chart of people is there with the history and everything else where those PDFs were. Under the Durante's picture. But we're live now we're in the middle of Intuition Monday. Okay. But it's under her picture on that portion in your email with all the corresponding websites. So find that portion where you find it. That's exactly why I did that. Find those links, click on that link, right, for that page, and find those links under her picture with DCF history and all of that or whatever.
All right.
And it should give you the flow chart of people that's there as far as that stuff or whatever. Because I know I think I know why you're asking as far as for correspondence to the people that are enforcing those de facto policies. All right, now yield the floor, Mother Islam.
All right, thanks.
Indeed, Islam. Peace. All right. I know, Jag. Let it go, bro. Your telepathy is so strong right now. It is what it is. All right, it is what it is. It is. I'm not tripping, bro. You see, it's just off my shoulders. Boop, back to the testimony. We're dealing with Libra here, talking about justice, right? All right, so here we go. Things need to be unearthed and brought about. All righty. Especially when we're talking here, guys. Look at the date here. What are we looking at? 30th. All righty. We're looking at April 30th. The first one I gave was May 1st, just 58 minutes after 0100. This one here, we had 30th April 2022 at 0500, 28 minutes and 4 seconds thereafter, actually, all right? And like I said, Mars being in the 5th house there in mutual reception in terms to Venus, but face with Jupiter. We can actually see that right here, guys. We're really allowing ourselves to actively unearth some things that need to be unearthed. We're going to be bringing the fortune that we need for ourselves by going back in the past to see the things that we probably could have in past lives put into effect. And now in this lifetime, we're like, yeah, we're going to kill that. It's kind of like that story of Vishnu during the story about Ekadashi fast, and Vishnu come and visit his people. He's like, hey man, what's all that noise? Hey, yeah, that's little buddy that you had torture souls for when they don't follow your law, Vishnu. And he's like, man, that stuff needs to stop. What you mean? You ordained that. You're a Vishnu. And the Vishnu is like, tell buddy, come up here. So he stops. He's like, look, man, I need you to stop doing it. He's like, man, why you want me to stop doing it? Now, if I stop doing it, I don't have nothing to do. And then, this other attribute of you, Vishnu, is going to come and try to kill me on the Ekadashi, the Shukla Ekadashi Titi and the Krishna Ekadashi Titi. What am I supposed to do? He said, well, hide in the grain during those days, right? So in other words, I'm saying that just off of Mars and the ascendant portion there, it's bringing that. However, now let's look at these terms that we're looking at pertaining to Mercury, right? At the Draftsmanship degrees. Mercury's at 0 degrees in this chart, and now in all the charts, 0 degrees, 48 minutes in Gemini in its own terms. However, it's in the 7th house here, so it's definitely allowing itself to make sure it is taking everything that it does as far as relating with itself and its local community and being able to really take the reins and really moving towards their goals and how they're going to be relating with people, all right? Because if you really think about it, the 7th house is 10th to the 10th. So it's really the status pertaining to the status. How do you really relate to yourself after coming out of the 6th house? And in that relation or whatever, the status to your status is how you get along with others. That's the 7th house. So that's where you're going to be allowing yourself to move forward in your destiny with your brothers and or local community and mothers, so to speak, because we're just talking about the immediate local community, right? However, that immediate local community is also ruling over the collective community because the 11th house cusp is Virgo on Venus terms also, that 11th house cusp. So we're really looking at some very fortunate things when it comes to us making sure we're really communicating that which needs to actually be said. Mercury is also ruling Gemini there while it's in Gemini. However, it's ruling over the 8th house. So I really think, guys, you're really uncovering, because 11th is 3rd from the 8th. So, if 11 is 3rd from the 8th, and I'm telling you that on Mercury terms, when Scorpio is dealing with secrets, there's some things that are going to be unearthed and uncovered. The things that are going to be unearthed and uncovered are things that people may have tried to use as a means to be active about something. And they were really the whole time in their activities in a lower self mindset. I'm not talking about honorable studying Moorish Americans out there who are enforcing their charge. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. I'm speaking on people who really thought that they were going to go out there and play victim. And everybody is going to see the boy and or girl who cries, not cried, who cries wolf. Continuing and really kind of just going in a little bit more on the 6th house cusp. I really want you guys to see that the 6th house cusp is at about 11 degrees, maybe 50 something minutes in Aries, right before the 12 degrees, which is the cusp for the 2nd lunar mansion. So it's at the end of the 1st lunar mansion, right? Spiritual intuitions is where that 6th house cusp is. Naturally, 6th house deals with service, right? So there's a spiritual intuition service that is being thoroughly provided, especially through astrology, because Uranus is sharing 6th house with the sun and the moon. And we're definitely making sure that we're bringing about a very loving yet assertive sort of kind of, because some loving security would be being assertive. It's not necessarily harsh, rude, or martial. However, it's definitely thorough and unrelenting. So with that being said, we will be able to bring be able to teach through the pain that we went through pertaining to some unrelenting stance that we're taking and making sure we're bringing together our subconscious mind with our heart, allowing the sudden changes that are necessary for the collective to allow themselves to happen while being under the rulership of Mars in mutual reception by term and face with Venus and Jupiter. However, that Mars is ruling over the ascendant is how we're going to go about pouring out what's happening there in our spiritual intuitive sixth house there already in that moment. And we'll be able to further see that sixth house is 12th to where Mercury is ruling both the 8th and the 11th. So therefore giving us a means to really collectively unveil some things that seemed like a secret, seemed like it's taboo. And really at the end of the day, all we had to do was just sit up because the grave is shallow. Lion's Paw, anyone? Brother Regulus Muhammad Bey, right? Time Czar. All right, graves are shallow. Just grab onto my lion's paw. It's stronger. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to yield the floor. I know there's many more dispositorships I could go over, and we know also we have our international colleagues viewing our presentations at time, provided they don't look at us like we're harmful and arrogant. I know, guys, you'll get over the fact that there are actual, Moors that aren't on bullshit. I know, guys, it's great. We love being around you too. I get it. All right. So with that being said, guys, I yield the floor to my magnificent and beloved brothers in whom I am well pleased. Islam.
Islam.
It's on me. All right.
Indeed, Mercury, brother.
That's right. Brother Regulus Time Czar Muhammad
Mikud St. Lucia. Yes? Is that how you say that? Mikud?
Mikoud. That's what it looks like.
Mikud. Indeed. All right. We're going to the 30th of April. We went to the 1st of May for the last testimony. Right. That was in the 3rd house. You see this is happening in the 7th house. That's funny, bro, because Brother Hasan, you just had the Libra zone.
Correct.
But it was in the 6th house.
And the sun and moon, yes.
Right. And now I got the sun and moon in the 7th house, and you had the Libra zone. It's pretty funny.
I know, right?
But yeah, spiritual intuitions, right? You said that with the 2nd lunar mansion, 2nd nakshatra.
The 6th house cusp was there at 11 degrees 59 minutes. And that's spiritual intuitions pertaining to Aries. And
that was 12 degrees. Okay, right.
Yeah, 12 degrees is the 2nd house, is the second part.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, so we're still dealing with it, but yeah, okay, so that's funny. Yeah. So the relationships are definitely having a, where there's a change within, who we are, so to speak, and how we deal with ourselves and with other people, and that's basically literally what Brother Hasan just said. He's talking about status and status. So it's really like you know who you are. However, you basically got to make a decision, because are you going to compromise who you are for someone else's benefit, or are you, going to stand, firm in who you are, based on who you are. So that's pretty cool. Say it again.
10 toes down.
You're hilarious. Yeah, standing on your square, right? Yeah. So that's very essential here, because you see that sun is conjunct Uranus. So this happening in the 7th, and it's happening at this moment, at a different location. However, it's going to happen, wherever you're located at, wherever you are. So, it's just, really pay attention to the way things are changing within yourself and within, your value system and how you go about the things that you say you care about, living in some sort of fantasy land pertaining to resources and how you spend your resources, or how you just spend time with certain energies that you may not really want to spend time with, so to speak. And that can also be internal, though. You can just be wasting your time on certain things that you don't really want to do, but you're doing it based on, again, someone else's values. So there's a whole, reconstruction going on here, right? Because we're really seeing, again, what we value individually and how, or, as one as being, and how you or we, as one will want to relate with someone else, so to speak. Just, it doesn't matter who it is. So that whole formulation is being reconstructed with this new moon, because now we're planting the seed that we want to grow specifically. So, grow good seeds, produce good fruit, bad seeds produce bad fruit. Why would you, plant a bad seed? So you want to know, what you're planning, so to speak, what you're dealing with, and that always starts with self first. So, don't go looking to point the finger like, oh my God, little Johnny broke my heart or whatever, everyone's going to hurt you, I guess, in some sense.
I want to add to your wisdom because I overlooked it. Rookie, mistake. Thank you for your patience, though, brother Terrell. Whenever the sun and moon are conjunct like that, fortune and spirit are conjunct the ascendant. So spirit, fortune, and the ascendant's celestial longitude are all going to be the same when the sun and moon celestial longitude are the same. In conjunction, because remember, the sun and moon, they're lots. The lot of the moon is part of fortune. The lot of the sun, part of spirit. And we get the lots when we do the calculations for Arabic parts or lots, Arabic lots. The planets' lots. We do that when we do calculations dealing with calculations referencing sun, moon, and ascendant. I yield the floor. I just wanted to add that to your wisdom. So every time we're looking at fortune and spirit with a sun moon conjunction, the ascendant sun moon and the ascendant fortune and spirit are going to be conjunct while the sun and moon are conjunct. That's what I wanted to also point out. That's a pattern. If people even go back and look at what we've been doing, that's what it is. Also, just wanted to make sure I put that out there. So pardon me.
I'm glad you said the word pattern, because you should definitely be seeing some sort of pattern by now. I mean, 100%. This is not hard. Seriously.
A lot of people are going to be starting new opportunities called jobs right now and maybe after the eclipse. A lot of people even preparing for new jobs right now.
Yeah, and or leaving them too.
Correct.
To try to do the entrepreneur thing. Yeah, that's very. It's pivotal. It's a new start. It's something new. Being building your own empire, so to speak. Releasing codependency. This is there's a whole new reconstruction going on here with this energy. It's very beautiful too internally, and really see where this is happening in your chart though too, specifically. But a lot of unusual changes though going around within how we're relating and whom we're relating with. All right. And with that, I'll yield. Islam.
Thank you, Brother Jag. Your galactic melting pot testimony. Thank you.
Hilarious.
That my man got the galactic gumbo.
That's gracious. Can you? Oh man, I'm so hungry. I'm so mad you just said something.
Galactic gumbo, really? My apologies.
It's okay. I'm on my way.
Copyrighted. That's ours.
They're going to make me some food now.
I'm not going to even tempt myself in my thoughts. I'm like, okay, sundown is when today? 7:50? Is that sundown? Hold on, I got a calendar actually right here. Sundown today is what? Hold on. Oh, 1949. I was off a minute. Sundown is 1940. Oh, hold on. This is Intuition Monday. Oh no, I was right. 1949. That was yesterday and today. It's 1950 tomorrow. Next day, 26th. All right, I yield.
Yes. All righty. We are now in the Leo zone. We are at Merida Mexico. April 30th, 2022. And we're at the 9th hour of the day. We got, Saturn on the day and Jupiter on the hour, on the aura. And we're going to get right into the sun and moon in the 8th house, right? And then we'll be looking at, spirit and fortune, conjunct the ascendant. And then we've got Venus and Jupiter. So I'm going to just get right on into it. A new sense of self-expression, whether that be externally or internally, is now coming from the subconscious as with a connection to our roots, to our past lives and to our ancestors. Self-worth isn't determined by one's finances, but by 3 national principles. There also could be discussions about mysteries, inheritance, and taxes. Truth-loving wisdom is in harmony as the collective begins to see the light or start to experience an awakening. Limiting beliefs pertaining to unity, contracts, and beliefs now gets closed out and makes way for a fresh, transforming spiritual growth opportunity and with ultimate understanding. And we could also be seeing communication being shared between partnerships, business ships, and also the public can now be bringing new forms of support for offspring and also offspring after, for those going through what is quote, divorce. With this new moon energy and Venus and Jupiter, this is now a reset of values and beliefs for a new understanding to see themselves internally and before the world, and also, raise up the self-worth and values. And finally, healing by means of being in solitude or reflecting on one's spiritual growth through, our own trials and tribulations. And finally, truth coming from closures that needed to happen. So, as my awesome, bro Hasan was stating earlier, the truth will be unearthed, So, as they say, the skeletons in the closet, it's spring cleaning. So, we can just be looking to really see the truth of things, whatever level you're on, whether, you by astrology or through your friends or, through the television or, different social medias. We can be just seeing different truths come out about others, but also about ourselves. But I will yield the flow. And, I'm about to just Chris Paul lob that back to my awesome bro, Brother Benjamin.
Gotcha. I love Blake Griffin. I'm not as fair skinned as Blake Griffin, but as in tenacity.
Yo. Oh my goodness, man.
All right. Solar partial eclipse, new moon. This is the Cancer zone. This is April 30th, 2022, a Saturday at a Saturn hour, 8th hour of the day. So like a scorpionic hour, 300 hours, 28 minutes, 4 seconds. This is Miami, Canada. That's interesting. Miami in Canada. That's awesome. We got on the rise there, Libra. Huh?
I said, right. I was looking, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, let's go with it.
Miami, Canada. It's like the reverse. It's like water, but like ice. But, moving along. On the rise there, we have Libra. at the ascendant was at 24 degrees Libra, 9 minutes. No, 24 degrees retrograde, Libra, 32 minutes. Alrighty. And I will be speaking about the ninth house, and that's
I think we got Virgo on the rise.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of wrong. Thank you, Brother Sean. Virgo, Mercury.
Or it might be anywhere from your location, though, if you wrote your testimonies for your location. So, yes.
Appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah.
I missed it. My apologies. What happened?
I was saying that...
he was saying Libra was on the rise, but I was saying that it was Virgo from the location, but he, writes his report from his location, so that Libra will most likely still be on the rise for that.
That's possible. Yeah. All right. I yield. Go right ahead. You guys are magnificent. Go ahead. I yield.
Yes, I'm preach. And the terms of the Venus terms, so you got Mercury there ruling the ascendant as in Virgo, but the terms there, the arrow pointing to the micromanager Venus. So those values again. But jumping back to the energy to the ninth house, where you have the sun and the moon in Taurus at the same degrees, 10 degrees. Taurus, 28 minutes, and as we stated before, is the architectural degree or degree of architecture. So whether you're building knowledge here right now or higher learning. So right now you're building your thinking, you're expanding what you want to learn or possibly learn, things of that nature. But I have here now the solar partial eclipse now resting in the ninth house of higher learning, foreign travel, religious beliefs, along with law and cross-cultural relations, giving testimony as to have both creativity, the life source, the sun, cuddled with the mind or the moon, to sudden awakening, because you have Uranus there next to the sun, a kin search for the values in law, religion, or foreign land, or subject matter that challenges the old thought patterns and creates a clean slate for allowing new teachings to fill one's archives mentally or tangible notes. And those archives and notes are there for corrections and comprehension. So something new, just like you want to start something, you don't see the end of it, so it seems dark, so that's not a bad thing. Like I said once before, you just need a little light or a little knowledge, quote unquote, and, you're in the knowledge house. So say the house of light, the house of God, which that's what we like to say, horizons to the value that will hold against the times to come. So it won't be altered as the world, evolves. So, as the world evolves, we seem to drop the quote unquote old ways or just, habits that help us stay in tune with who we are. We tend to descend from those and kind of pick up the new things that are in the world, which, aren't harmful and, naturally privy to those things, and those things may not be naturally for you. Not saying you can't use them. Kind of like a hammer, like I was talking about earlier. It's used for nails, but you don't want to use it to open a can, really. What I'm saying, like a Coke. It'd be a little much. So this is what this is right here. You don't want to use things wrong, and sometimes you can use yourself wrong. You can use knowledge wrong. And that's a lot of things that happen in the world. So as the world, evolves, stay true to you and what you know. Like if it's broke, don't fix it, just maintain it, being self-aware of who you are is internally, and being self-aware of who you are is internally will be addressed as change in the way one approaches what he or she know or believes. So basically being self-aware of who you are internally will help you address, and approach what you know and what you believe. Basically, you're going to change who you are, but you're going to change it from an inner standpoint with the knowledge that you now have, came across or suddenly came across. Also, a new teacher or guru can inspire you to grow in the proper way, which is east. And we all know where that is. That is within. Whoa, who banging the line like that is wild. Oh, do I end?
Oh, dang.
Was that bro?
Yeah, I think he was getting somebody was calling him.
Oh, got you. Alrighty. And where was he picking up?
Yeah, Brother Benjamin was going in on that ninth house energy before he received that phone call.
Got you. Ninth house in Venus terms there, I can see. All right, and we know Venus is definitely at our exaltation degree, almost complete being at our exaltation degree, actually past the actual 27 of it all, right? And is actually within completing all the way up to the 28th. And I think there's our beloved brother, whom we will please.
Thank you for your praise in advance. I don't know, it's a weird number from Tennessee. You like to call me. I don't know anybody from Tennessee, but I tried to hang it up, but you know.
Click his thumbnail too to add him to the spotlight for when you stop your screen share, so that it won't be just 3 of us when you come back. So you can add him back to the spotlight also. And we yield to you, beloved brother. You're going in on that 9th house. It's like,
so yeah, I gotta come out of that so I can get him back on the spotlight. It's on my phone.
Oh no, go to participants. Go to participants. Go to participants.
Let's see. There we go.
Find Brother Benjamin. Click his appellation and just click add spotlight. All right, he's good. All right, cool.
Yeah. Before, you know, the whole call thing, I was actually wrapping it up, but I was saying what I was actually trying to say is be self-aware of one who is internally, you know, and that will be addressed first, and that will help you change the way you approach what you know and what you believe, and that belief will, you know, turn into things that, you know, fruition. You know, you'll have the mental ability to have the math problem solving abilities to get the answer. You won't I hope that's what it is. You will have the tools to figure it out mentally, you know, to bring it to fruition or manifest. You know, you'll have the proper tools to do what you need to do now in this house. You know, you'll find those tools, you know, to help you travel along. And what I was saying at the end, a new teacher, because, you know, it's new energy, you know, partially new energy. A new teacher or guru, because the 9th house can inspire one to grow in a proper way, and that is East. And we all know where East is, and that's within, because, you know, everything is metaphysical at the end of the day. You know, we speak about, you know, tangible words, but at the end of the day, all of this happens inside of you first. So that's why I want to be intentionally, we say internally and things of that nature, because you want to, you know, you always think from inside out, you know, but we never are consciously in that mode all the time. You know, we don't grab those reins of the inside out operating all the time. We kind of just like go to autopilot. So here you'll find a sudden awakening with grabbing the reins of always being, you know, aware of self and operating from within, and then, you know, not reacting from what happens externally. And I yield.
All righty, it's on me on this Gemini zone, right? Which is interesting too, because that's what I'm actually sitting here just looking at the notes for. I'm actually in my encyclopedia. I wanted to really make sure I tapped in on that 21 degrees Cancer there, right? Which is about, at this point in time, when moving to fixed star Alpha Geminorum, which is Castor, the mortal one. It's on the rise though. I think Castor was at about maybe 20 degrees, 34 minutes. So it's about 16 minutes already past the ascendant, but it's on the rise. So guys, protect your face on this day. All right. Possible injuries to the face. All righty. So let's make sure on this day, all righty, near this Gemini zone, as this is the ascendant or this solar eclipse is happening here. And, you know, sometimes when people think of certain effects or whatever, you know, the eclipses last from 6 to 12 months longer, right? And Brother Corey is going off in the Instagram chat right now. So with right, right. Oh, boy. That's hilarious. We'll look at that. Oh wow, do we got another one? Is it another RV Bay Publications delivery? Yeah,
we made it. Oh, that's
yeah.
No,
Brother Corey's got an RV Bay Publications delivery now too, right, guys? That's where we got it. That's our school that we, you know, we're all students, as well as when you're a student of Moor's Heritage and History School, you're also one who can share the information and you're profess it and teach it also. So we are members pertaining to Moor's Heritage and History School. For those that don't know about Moor's Heritage and History School, you can go to rvbaypublications.com and study sincerely about what's there. And, you know, when you guys really sincerely study, those that are coming into the truth pertaining to their nationality and birthrights, So they can take their place amongst the affairs of men, knowing you're not a federal agent on federal land within a federal trade zone, you know. So that's not who you are. All righty. So let's honor our ancient foremothers and forefathers and be ourselves and stop supporting centralized government. Yeah. Yeah, we don't like centralized banks and stuff like that. Anyway, moving forward, we're just anti-despotism and tyranny. All right, anti-despotism, anti-tyranny. Considerately. Don't make me have to read out loud that letter from Emmanuel bin Moor Ali, who has been reconstructed in history to be termed rhythmically Benjamin Banneker. Don't make me read that letter he wrote back that he wrote to Thomas Jefferson with his hand on his head, like, didn't I tell you, motherfuckers? Let me stop. I'm serious. So with that being said, know where you are, because we know we're home. And yeah. So with that being said, all right, let's move forward. Gemini's on the rise at this time while you have Sun and Moon conjunct in the 10th house on Saturn's terms. If I'm not mistaken, they're definitely on Saturn's terms. And what I actually have written here.
Is that Leo on the rise?
Is that correct, what I'm seeing here? Let me make sure. Yeah, that's Saturn, right? And so what we're looking at is that 10th house cusp being at the, so think about it. You guys, make sure you're protecting your face and stuff like that, right? Is a possibility. You might be shaving, be careful, don't nick yourself. What I do technically realize, though, when it comes to your status, you have the power to realize very lofty ideals. Because that's where the 10th house cusp is. And with Mars in the 8th house, guys, unvelations. Mars in the 8th is doing great in mutual reception to both Venus by terms and Jupiter by face. All righty, guys. So let's just pay attention to the fact, too, that 8th house cusp is at about 22 degrees Aquarius-ish. So yeah, guys, you're going to really find yourself actively bringing to the forefront some things that will unveil some things. Really, with astrology, I got the feeling. You want to talk about watch your face? Because I said it may be injuries to the face with, Alpha Geminorum on the rise, which is Castor, the mortal twin. What it means is, even not on the physical portion of maybe something happening to your face. You saw people try to save face, try to like cover up, so that's not going to be possible. The unvelations are so real that people that didn't believe in something are going to, or they're going to actually see the universality in it and really let go of the bias within their own thinking.
Yeah, with the idealism, they have Chiron and Aries there as well. So it's healing in the mind or healing in the head, not to make it physical. You get hit in the head as well, but like you're saying, save face, you're gonna have to really eat that and heal in the mind.
Islam. Indeed. And it's not really hard too, because I think it's going to happen from wow, I didn't know that. I'm so glad I learned that. So this is going to be one of those things where you're going to learn something and it's going to be unveiled. But the reason it's happening in an environment where you can learn and grow, the blow to your ego that's the whole save face thing here. The blow to your ego won't be as hard. You won't lose your faith. The foundation in your faith won't be as shaken. You will actually allow yourself to ascend to higher levels, and you will actually see how you've actually kept yourself in a detrimental thinking by dogmatically holding on to some ideals that may have been limiting your progress. All righty, and don't forget to make sure you get your progressed readings as well when you come to 7HealStar.com. Let's see how you progressed. Yes, your natal chart is your natal chart. However, where are you now? Oh, I'm 40 years old. Great. What was the 40th day on the ephemera? The 40th, the 40th day after you manifested. Let's go look at that. Let's see where the planets were on that ephemeris. That's what we're going to cast a chart on and see where you are now. Alrighty, at 40. Anyhow, with that being said, beloveds, let me move forward in my testimony. Of course, we know that this is the 4th house that this is actually fourth lunar mansion, where this is carrying. This is pest control. Sometimes, the theme of the fourth lunar mansion, I think it's the follower is what it's called, but it deals with pest control. Alrighty, so at the end of the day, again, we're just looking at this 4 or 5 energy, moon and sun, home and creativity, all within the essentials house on the terms pertaining to Saturn, which it just looks like it's on Saturn's terms. Saturn's, just going to enjoy itself, ruling from the astrological degrees, both over the 8th house and delivering its terms, however, for the 10th house, as well as its ruling over the 7th. So we'll really be able to bring some real active, transformative thinking that will really allow us to not just challenge where we are now and how we're thinking. All right. It's not a challenge as much as it's like a, aha, oh, whoa, moment of clarity. Ow, I can actually graduate to this level of thinking. All right. Allow yourself to really be secure and bringing that to the forefront, because now you can actually incredibly, move forward in a very innovative way towards your destiny and establishing yourself in the public, so to speak, as they call it in the public. But public is a military term, so we're not going there. You can do it collectively out there upon your ancestral estate, in special appearance around whomever you may specially appear to. All right. So with that being said, and looking at this diamond kind of kite aspect energy in the center of this wheel for the Gemini zone, if I'm not mistaken, this is this Moropu, French Polynesia? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Because I really can't see it, but it looks like Motoku. Is that correct? Hey, man, I nailed that. Look at that, man. Call me a carpenter.
Yes.
I know, right? I nailed that one, right? Call me a carpenter, guy. So with that being said, as we all are, right? As we all are, we're all carpenters, right? Yeah, Brother Sean, that reminds me, after this, I'm going to go and finish throwing my laundry, in those machines. With that, my beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased, and those that are here attentively listening, shout out to JL and Brother Yusuf Mutadia. I did see very briefly they were in the YouTube. And I yield the floor to you, beloved brothers. Islam.
Islam. Alrighty.
Some brother regulars.
He's getting it.
All right, Islam. Toro. Fiji. We're traveling to Fiji. Yes. What does that say? Singaloka?
Wow, man, you nailed that, bro. Carpenter points. Nailed that.
Singatuka. I'm all in the camera.
I know I'm finished doing my report, but I'm still going to actually finish what I was writing because I'm that into it right now. So.
Brother Jag in the camera, like, you got games in your phone. Like, you got games on your phone. Got any astrology on your phone?
Oh, there he is. Yeah. You know. Okay. So this is happening in the 11th house, as we can see. You back it up for me a little bit, Brother Sean? Just a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect. All right. All right, yeah. So, just again with the sun and moon, the new moon, happening in the 11th house. I think we said this last week, actually, or somebody said it, but there's just, this very, unusual kind of untasteful situation occurring within, let's just say the workplace or within the, the groups that you may be, calling yourself accustomed with, and or within the family too, so to speak. There can be this rearrangement going on that's like, very, like I said, distasteful or unsettling. That's it's causing some things to be rearranged, like I was speaking on with the 7th house, with the moon and the sun being in the 7th house. And just like Brother Hasan was really just saying, like it's very relative to the 10th house, and the 11th house, because the 10th house and the 11th house relationship in the horoscope is very, essential. So that Uranus, being in the 11th, and then the moon and the sun being there, is just like something very very unusual, that may be actually, you may have, thought about it or knew it. However, the way it may be produced and the way it comes out, it could be very, shattering, so to speak, or just, like I said, making things a little bit uncomfortable. But it's for the better. It's for the betterment, of what's happening, so to speak, internally and within, with whatever, let's say, group you're a part of. If you're a part of some group or some, body politic, nationhood, so to speak, or again, it can't just be what's going on at work, so to speak, whatever you call that. There's some rearrangement within, how one is really, let's just say, creating, and let's just say getting assistance from, groups or friends, very, it could be strangers too, so to speak, people you really don't know. That's pretty much assisting you to expand within your, whatever you do, whatever service you bring to the community. It's pretty much, helping, if there's a thing being produced, so to speak, if there's something you've been building, that's so to speak what's happening. However, the things that may be communicated, could, just bring you that spark under your ass that we kind of talk about pretty often. It's bringing you what you need to, help you get to the next level. Or, you're realizing what you need so you can get to the next level. And that's internal. We're talking internally, because we're talking about our self dealing with in some group environment. So then, like, you could see, if someone doesn't have a stable foundation, they can't build anything. You can't build anything stable. Just like bro was just speaking on being a carpenter. So if he's building something and he has an unstable foundation, that building that he built will not stand, for long. So you don't want to build buildings on sand. That's what we say. That's quoting the holy text, Circle 7. But yeah, just really formulating on how you're building within yourself and with other people, so to speak. Because again, like, we realize how essential other people are, because without, someone assisting you or realizing, or like if someone grows food and they have too much food, like why wouldn't they? I feel like more than likely they'll just be like, I should just give this to the community. It's gonna happen. So that's just pretty much with any sort of thing, in a sense, right?
Islam.
And with that, I'll yield. Islam,
bro. All righty, I guess we at the end. But what areas is where we begin, right? All right. Yeah, May 1st, 2022. Oh, wait, let's see. 600 hours, 28 minutes, 4 minutes, and we are moving over to the Tapini Papua New Guinea Corporation, right?
Papua.
Tapini Papua New Guinea, and we are on the loveliest Sunday, and it's during a sun hour. Would you look at that? Good times, right? All right, and just to get on right into it, we have Luna and Sol in the 12th house. All righty, so this is we've been saying it before, a great time to reassess any financial speculations, whether that be stocks, investments, how you invest into yourself, whether that's by means of going to the gym, eating out, eating healthy, just trades, all those different sorts of things, pretty much whatever you invest into yourself to improve yourself. Also, people could be looking at their spending capacities. Are you blowing too much finance, and, are you, spending outside your means, and, a new sense of self-worth value, and that comes from going within internally. And then once you see that worth internally, then you will see that appear on the outside of you, because you never needed outside interaction for confirmation. It had to come first from yourself, right? But I think that's where, we can get confused at times, is thinking we need something outside of us when everything we need is within us, right? Let's keep going. People could be, looking for a new job or getting a promotion. Maybe, entrepreneurship, comes up, or, just different opportunities to better oneself, because, with one's health, you better yourself. That also brings, an expansion to the career as well. Health is wealth, as they say. So, just the opportunity to, get your health together, get your career together, really assess what it is, in all fashions and means, right? All right, and then this is also a time to heal the hardness, within one's own heart, or within our own heart, for closure. Letting go of the past, because this is a whole new time. It's a new time and era for everyone. So, the past is the past. And now when you get rid of that, let go of those negative cords that are anchoring you down, anchoring you back from moving forward. This ignites new harmonic emotions and passions. And and right there is this is a time of resetting of material possessions and values across the board. Just your drive and ambitions, how you love yourself and how you connect, and how do you be your own teacher, and also learning from other teachers or gurus. Reassessment of that. All right, and with harmonic study, expansion comes to investments. Also there could be, loving sentient beings out there, helping relatives, and also, just how you interact with others. Limiting beliefs and selfish ego desires fall out, and this brings healing to the hearts and minds of the sentient beings, organizations, cultures globally, and our life wishes. New beginnings are coming in, or have came after opportunity comes to expand on the concrete experience that has shaped our character. So, once you have did the reflecting, just on how you've came and how you grow, now you're closing those doors to really walk through new ones. So those experiences that, laid your foundation are now becoming stepping stones for your new journey. All right. And finally, opportunity to be open to receive new ideas, friendships, self-worth, and networking opportunities. The collective could be starting to see things that has been overlooked or misunderstood. And, shout out to, awesome Brother Hasan. Can you tell them the forward hashtag, please?
Hashtag reducing confusion, bringing clarity.
And I yield for that to end my testimony. So, taking the confusion away. That's what will be going over the collective, because we've got Mars and Venus and harmony, and with Jupiter as well, and Pluto is transforming all this. So fear ye not, as times are changing and things are ending, because new things are coming. And with that, I will yield for that. Right?
Pluto retrograde in the night.
What's up, bro?
So it was Pluto retrograde in the night.
Yes.
That's like some deep research, further research and rerouting. Oh man. Yeah. When you said that Pluto is like, basically transforming all of that within the ninth house. So it's like, yeah.
And if I'm looking, Pluto's in Mars terms as well. So I mean, really, guys, like, this is the opportunity to where we will all be in our, own fashions. If I'm looking at that right, yeah,
in Mars terms.
Yeah, so we're really, because they say new moons aren't really a new time of manifesting, but I say, whatever seeds you reap, is what you're going to sow on any level. So, any work that you've been putting in, we can really start to, really see things. We're feeling an energy shift. We're seeing things happening. And, with the drive and love, as long as you stay in harmony and, be open to the truth, and, just be, keep it real with yourself and you keep it real with others. And now this is the time to move forward, really step into the energy that came from, when the sun moved into Aries. Now you're taking this cardinal energy, this new self sense of energy, and now you're, plugging that into the values that you have. And now you can reset those values so that now things can start off and be much better than before. And I yield. I'm gonna get out of that. All right, and bring all the magnificent bros back to the forefront. All right, there we go.
Indeed. Yes, if you had any questions, right, and just one from one of our professional international colleagues, reviewing just something that they said, and it was definitely an inspiration. So shout out to the Wises, writing in their presentation on writing when I was in class yesterday. And it just really, there's one thing that was asked, like, when people that aren't Moorish American are interested in 7HealStar astrology, what is it that they should know about our astrology? And what they should know is we eradicate confusion. Actually, we eradicate it, but really we reduce it, because the eradication of said confusion is really based on the being that the confusion is in. So that's self-determination. So we can only assist in reducing the confusion and bring clarity by telling the truth. You ask us something, and if we don't know the answer right then and there, know that we're going to look for it. Because we don't kind of take, I don't know, because that's not what happens to sincere Moorish Americans, sincere scholars, sincere certified professional astrologers. We take our place we're taking our place among the affairs of men, knowing that we are universal apprentices. And we need no building or groupings to make us over from that which our mothers have made us from the womb, which is freeborn master masons and Eastern stars. Anybody in disagreement? Go once. Anybody in disagreement? Going twice. I think this is the portion where we say hashtag 7HealStar astrology firm, 7HealStar.com astrology firm does hashtag reduce confusion, bringing clarity. Reducing confusion, bringing clarity. That's the square that we stand on. See those 4 words? Reducing confusion, bringing clarity. The square is the master, mother's son. Master Mason, right? Ah, look at that quartz. That's quartz, right? Am I identifying that correctly?
Mm-hmm. Clear quartz, baby. Clarity.
Islam. Islam. Before we say be yourselves and donate in unison, right? What'd you say, Brother Sean? I didn't want to cut you.
I was laughing like we got some of that good loving wisdom for you, some of that rose quartz.
Hey, look at that, Steven Universe's mom. All right, rose quartz. All right, so we are. yo, you and Brother Benjamin, with you guys green screen choices are the most hilarious, right? Y'all are hilarious. Like what? Huh? Anyway,
I think I got the best picture, Brother Jag, when he was just looking up like this. That's the best one. That is the best one.
Y'all are hilarious. All right. But before we say be yourselves and donate, right? Brother Sean, you got a clock available you can bring up real quick so we can see what we're closing out on? For some reason, I just had that thought just now.
Oh, for sure.
Can you bring up a live clock? Right.
Here we go.
Looky, Astro Cookie. Jupiter terms, right? What is going on there? Right? Is this me? This ain't me doing that, is it? Oh, my apologies. I just made a mistake and so opened up Microsoft Office on my computer and did not mean to. Right? So anyhow, guys, yeah, Virgo's on the rise. Look what terms the ascendant is in. Cannot make this up, guys. Looky, Astro Cookie. The terms, right? That's probably where Jupiter would do the best, though, in Virgo within its own terms. So not every spot in Virgo is horrible for Jupiter. All right. And we know that 16 degrees Virgo is where Mercury doesn't so-called do where Mercury does do the best. 16 degrees Virgo. However, just really looking at that and like, where's Jupiter, guys? Look at that in the 7th house. You guys are really expanding how you are not only relating to what we're presenting. There are a lot of you out there. You like us now. It's all right. I knew it was going to take some time. Right. And even me saying that right now, it's like, oh, man, don't point that out that we actually like 7HealStar.
What's that one song? I like what you like. You like what I like.
Really? Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm looking at it like, hey, man, people are really reinstituting their values and expanding on how they really can relate to that which we're bringing, man, because we're actively bringing this. If I'm not mistaken, on the rise there. I mean, on the descendant, right? I'm not mistaken. Those terms look very mercurial there.
I was about to say that. Extremely
if I'm
mercurial.
Not mistaken. Those terms look a bit mercurial there.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah, it's looking like it.
Yeah, a bit mercurial there.
Because it's to the right, yeah.
So that means the erudition of the 9th house Mercury there with Venus in the 7th, right? In her exaltation sign, approaching the exaltation degree, because she's not quite at where we've just been delineating for the past 12 testimonies. She will be there in about 5 days. 5 days. I said that actually properly. Pardon me, I was correct. So with that being said, guys, let's just really take a look at what we're closing out on, guys. What we're closing out on is love the encyclopedia that you are and let yourself unfold to you. Self-denial, that's not going to serve you. So how I said that because Virgo's on the rise. Self-denial, it's not going to serve you. Right? Because you're reflecting on whether to serve yourself or have some illusion of, imagination that isn't you. Why do that? Why not just bring about that beauty that's there and really expand the institution of really getting along with others, right? Affirming your status to your status. Again, 7th house is the 10th to the 10th. I can't make this up, man. Just how this is happening. All righty. So, guys, make sure you're very erudite, right? Because we're going to yield the floor, we brothers, that's Mercury, with our erudite presentation on the internet, right? That's my house, right? However, which is even funnier, and I'm saying erudite presentation, right? And the moon's there in Pisces. Hey, moon in Pisces. How are you, baby? All right. Ruling over the 11th house, right? So we're definitely bringing you guys a real service where we're really about watching the South like funnel halt and making sure we're not allowing our lower self to try to make its way north, so to speak, right? So stay there and watch the South, lower self, and let higher self, shell out the commands. So with that being said, and talking about command centering, we like Power Rangers are going to take our alphas and Zordon on out of here. All right. Being said, any other
backflip out of the camera?
What'd you say?
I'm just doing backflip out of the frame. It's like,
I know, right? We're gonna go out Green Ranger style here. Stop.
Yo, you know how they had the reverse jump thing? I think we should make one of those and come on like that. It's like the Fox 6 thing, like but it's us just like.
Hey yo, that's actually that's a private conversation where we collectively come together, because I really want that collective come together, not only be what we need for ourselves. However, these people, they're ready. They just have no idea that it's coming, but they're ready. So anybody else, questions, comments, and or suggestions? Let me not monopolize the outro monologue here.
Nope, everybody good. We all good. I appreciate you all for tuning in with us, watching. For those that will watch in the future and the distant future, we appreciate you all. We love you all. This is 7HealStar signing out. I am Brother Astronomy L with the bros, Brother Benjamin, Brother Jack, and Brother Hasan. And as we end out, like, share,
be yourselves and donate. All right.
And read a book.
Right. Peace and green to you all. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and love.